All right, if you have ever considered building an online business ever, you've probably thought about building a business around your passion. Someone said, do something you love. You'll never have to work a day in your life. Just build a business around your hobby. That's what you should do. It's great. And you know what? It mostly is pretty great. That's what I've done for the last 10 years, but it's not always great. In fact, there are some really big things that are not great about building a business around your passion. So if you're considering doing that, I urge you to watch this video where I'm gonna give you 5 reasons not to build a business around your passion. And if at the end of it, you still wanna do it, great, go for it. I will even help you do it. I got all sorts of resources for how to do it, but watch this video first, make sure it's the right fit for you. Okay, enough rambling, enough stupid jokes. All right, let's go. Okay, for the first reason you shouldn't build a business around your hobby, let's talk about the thing that surprises people the most. And that is, there's a good chance that thing you love, you will do less of it once you turn it into a business. Now, to be clear, your whole life will start to revolve around this thing. You will be ingrained in whatever it is your hobby, your passion is. But actually doing the thing that you enjoy most, you're not going to do as much of. So let me give you an example of this. 10 years ago, I started a golf website called Breaking 80. Golf was my passion. It was my outlet. It was the thing I did for fun. I traveled around the world to golf. Well, you turn it into a business, and all of a sudden, I went from playing like 100 rounds a year to like 30, 40 rounds a year. I still spent a ton of time thinking about golf, but instead of just playing golf, I was reviewing products on the driving range. I was taking photos of those products. I was writing blog posts. I was setting up affiliate links. I was building connections. I was doing podcasts. I was doing all of the things that just weren't necessarily playing golf for fun. So don't get me wrong, I love all of those ancillary things associated with. That's kind of a lot of those things, that's blogging, really, is what it comes down to. And I enjoy the process of blogging. But because you're taking so much time to do all of those other things, you're not going to have as much time just to do the thing it is that you enjoy. So there will be opportunities that will open up. There will be times where you will be doing more of that thing. But by and large, as a whole, what I have found is that since I've gotten into the golf industry, I have played less golf. And I guess a better way to phrase that would be, since my golf business has gotten successful, I have played less golf. In the early days, the first, 3, 4, 5 years, I still played a ton of golf. But since then, as things have taken off a little bit, they've gotten more successful, I've got more responsibilities, I've got more opportunities, the time I'm spending on the golf course is less and less. So basically, I just want to make clear that you might think that when you build a business around your hobby, you're going to spend all of your time just doing that thing. Well, you're going to spend some of your time doing that thing, but you're going to spend all of your time doing all of the associated things that go along with it. And if you enjoy those things, great. But if you don't enjoy those things, then maybe you should think twice about building a business around your passion. All right, the second reason not to build a business around your passion is because honestly, it might take you a while to really get it to the point where it takes off and is successful. It can take a long time. Honestly, it probably took me 3, 4 years before I was making a really, good, solid income from the site. Don't get me wrong, within a couple months, I was getting a lot of the fringe benefits. I was getting free products sent to me. I was getting, opportunities to travel and play free golf. That's all great, but if you are looking at this as a way to make a serious career change and you're at a point where you need to be making money right now, it's more important for you to be making money than doing something you love to do, then there are better ways to make money and make a living. For instance, freelance writing. If you follow this channel, you know I'm a huge proponent of freelance writing, and you may be better off just pursuing a writing career in your niche. There's a lot that goes into building a blog, building a brand around a hobby, even if it's something that you love. Whereas if you were a freelancer, you take a lot of that responsibility off your shoulders. It can be easier to get going, but most importantly, freelancing is much easier to start making money at than blogging. And so if you're at a point where you need to make money right away, blogging and starting a brand around your blog and starting, that thing around your hobby is probably not the best way to do it, because that's going to take quite a bit of time to get going. Whereas freelancing, you can start making money within the next couple weeks. All right, third reason not to build a business around your hobby or your passion is because there is a very good chance it is going to cause you to not enjoy and not love that hobby or passion down the line. That's a little bit of what's happened with me in golf. I've had a very love-hate, a very up and down relationship with golf over the last 5 years, specifically because I made it my business. That outlet I had when I used to wake up, 2-3 times a week, and I'd go golfing first tee time of the day, 7 a.m. I would just go out and play. It was my release. It was that opportunity for me to de-stress or think about problems or forget about problems. It was all of these great things. But now, every time I go to the golf course, I feel like I need to be working. In part because I'm not going out as much due to having a kid, due to being busier, due to travel, all of the things. So if I am at the golf course, I feel like I need to be reviewing a product, or I feel like I need to be taking, photos for social media. So this outlet I had, this passion that I had, all of a sudden, it became a job. And because I was playing less, I was spending more time on the reviews, I wasn't getting better, I was actually getting worse at it, which caused it to be less fun. And so all of a sudden, this thing that I love and this thing that I enjoy, I found myself not enjoying as much. Now, over the course of the last few years, I found ways to combat that. I've taken longer stretches off so that I get excited to join again. I find ways to make it new. I will go out and make sure that I dedicate time to doing the thing and trying my best not to think about work. It can be difficult, but I've gotten a little bit better at it. So I would just think long and hard about whether or not it's worth the risk. The thing that you love right now, is it worth risking that for money and for all the benefits that come with building a business around your thing? Of which there are many. We'll have a whole separate video about reasons you should build a business around your passion. But I would just think really long and hard about whether or not it's worth it to you to potentially risk that outlet, that thing you love, that passion, just for some money. Because I truly believe a lot of people are better off just enjoying their passion, enjoying their hobby, using that as an outlet from the rest of their life, as opposed to making it their entire life. Now, I'm not saying I regret my decision to get into the golf industry, but if I knew then what I knew now, I would maybe go about it in a little bit of a different way. All right, the fourth reason to maybe consider skipping building a business around your passion is because you have to deal with haters. When all of a sudden you're putting yourself out there, whether it's a physical product, whether it's your ideas, whether it's reviews, whether it's thoughts, whether it's photos, whatever it is, when you start putting yourself out there for your thing, you're gonna get feedback. And a lot of that feedback is going to be positive, and there's a good chance some of that feedback is going to be negative. Before I started my golf business, everything about golf was positive. Everything I talked about, all the people, we're just talking about the things we love, the things we hate. If we disagreed on anything, it didn't really matter. It was a amicable disagreement. Everyone has their own thoughts and opinions. But as soon as you put yourself out there as some sort of an expert, as some sort of a voice in a particular industry, and as soon as you start talking to strangers and people on the internet about your thoughts or your feelings, then they are going to have opinions. And sometimes those opinions are negative. And sometimes those opinions are going to come your way very loudly, and that can have a pretty big impact on your psyche. Now, to be clear, I've been pretty lucky. 95% of the commentary I get, the comments, the emails, the thoughts are from people that love what I do. And that is great. Some of those people have become great friends that I've met in real life and played golf with, and it's awesome. But then there's the other 5%. But sometimes, unfortunately, the way it is those 5%, those are the ones that stick with you. The people that hate what you're doing. The people that will tell you very loudly how wrong you are for an opinion or a thought or a review or whatever it is. Now, I'm lucky in the fact that I've been doing this for a long time and I don't get that many trolls. But when you do, it still stings. It can sit with you for a while. Sometimes that's the thing you dwell on. And I'm pretty good at just letting it blow over and recognizing that most of the time these people don't know what they're talking about. But every once in a while, someone will say something and be like, oh, you're kind of right. You could have been nicer about it, but yeah, you're right. And then you do your best to get better. But a lot of the time, people just want to vent. They just want to take their frustrations out on you, and you have to be okay being a punching bag for that sometimes. And so when all of a sudden you start taking some of those negative thoughts and applying it to the thing that you love to do, that can be hard. When all of a sudden you have to get feedback from other people around this thing that you're passionate about that used to just be fun, all of a sudden that can make it less fun. So just kind of keep that in mind. You want to make sure you have a thick skin. You want to make sure that you don't take things too personally. And you also want to make sure you've got an open mind, because sometimes they may have a point and might cause you to rethink the way you're going about things. All right, and finally, the last reason to think twice about building a business around your passion is the time commitment. You see, the great thing about, say, freelance writing is you can fit it in whenever you want. If you've only got, 2 nights a week between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. to get work done, great. you can go and do that. But if you're building a blog and a brand around a hobby and it has anything to do with, taking photos or making videos or doing product reviews or anything like that, then you're not only going to have to make time to write and create that content, you're also going to have to create everything else that goes along with it. So for me, it's often a lot more difficult to do work for, say, my golf blog than it is here at Location Rebel, because Location Rebel, I'm teaching people how to build businesses online. So I can sit in my office and I can shoot a video or I can write a blog post kind of whenever, wherever I want. But let's say I want to do a product review for my golf website. Let's say it's a pair of shoes, a pretty easy thing to review. I still have to go out to the golf course. I have to photograph the shoes before I wear them. I've got to set up a tee time. I've got to play at least 9 holes of golf in the shoe. I've got to come back. I've got to write about everything, and then I've got to publish it. So that's an extra 2, 3, 4 hours of work, not to mention the cost for, the golf membership or the greens fees, depending on how you want to look at it, the time it takes to shoot the photos and edit the photos and all of the things associated with that. So whereas I might be able to do a Location Rebel video in 45 minutes, it might take me 4 to 5 hours just to review one pair of shoes. And that's an easy product. That's not even talking about some of the more technical things like a golf launch monitor where I've got to pair it with the app, and then I've got to learn how to use the app, and then I've got to spend a couple hours on the range with it, and yada, yada, yada. Some of this is fairly golf specific, but there's going to be similar examples in probably whatever niche and whatever industry you get into. So my point being is, generally speaking, building a business around your passion can be much more time intensive than building other types of online businesses. And if you don't have time to create that content and do a better job at it than a lot of the other people on the internet, then you're going to struggle to get traction, you're going to get frustrated, and you're probably going to quit. So if you want to build a business around your passion, make sure you not only have the time to do it, but you're willing to commit the time to do it, because it definitely can be more time intensive than any other type of business. All right, so there you go. Those are my 5 reasons to maybe think twice before building a business around your hobby. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. There are so many amazing positive reasons to build a business around your hobby. But a lot of people gloss over the negatives, and every single negative I talked about here is very, very real. So if even one of those is kind of a deal breaker for you and makes you think twice, then you might want to reconsider building a business around that thing you love and simply do that thing you love. My name's Sean Ogle. I'm the founder of this thing here at Location Rebel, where we teach you how to build online businesses using your words. If that sounds like something you're into, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you got some value out of this video, make sure you hit the notification bell and hit the thumbs up button. It helps us out a lot. And if you want help building an online freelance writing business, go to locationrebel.com/hi. You're gonna get our free 6-day course, our free freelance writer's guide, and it's gonna tell you everything you know to get started. So with that, I hope you have an excellent day, and stay tuned for our next video, which is all about 5 reasons you should build a business around your passion, and we'll see you later.